Save 8% off your order at TrueTechTools.com by using the Shop Talk discount code. Hello and welcome back to HVAC Shop Talk. I'm your lovable host, Zach Ciota, who is, you guys can't really tell because I changed my shirt, but I was working today and I was actually out in the field today. Believe it or not, it's crazier things have happened in this world, but I'm a dirty bird, bro. My jeans, which I wear jeans 360 days a year. There's probably like 5 days a year where I have to wear slacks, like a funeral or Easter, which I wore jeans on Easter too. Because my logic is that just because, well, let me put it this way. Okay, I have a logic to this. If you're in the church and everybody's dressed up, it's like, why aren't you dressed up for church? So I'm pretty sure these guys in the Bible wore like what looks like Jedi clothes and sandals. So I'm pretty sure I'm all right with jeans. And I don't think that's the point. I don't think it's the point. All right, I'm going to run through the chat people, of which there's not many so far because we just got started. But I like to acknowledge those people who show up right at the beginning as a lovable bunch of Shop Talk greatest fans. Or just happen to be here. I don't know. What's up, Raw Mesa? Susie Dunn. Good old Susie. Dro HVAC. We got Bimco is running to eat. Be back in a bit. See you when you get back, Bimco. And hit that like button, says Dro. Hey, that's a great idea. You can hit the like button. I mean, you don't really know if the show is going to be good or not yet. But you can hit the like button. That's just fine. I really appreciate that. Cannon Casey says something about Bush Light is always on tap at his house. Cannon seems like a Bush Light kind of guy. See, I just say that in a way where you don't know what it means. It's like it doesn't mean anything, but it has like a negative twinge to it for some reason. It's like Cannon looks like the kind of person drink a Bush Light. You know what I'm saying? Bush Light kind of guy. I don't even know what that means. It doesn't matter. I don't care. I don't drink beer. What's up, James Gerard, maybe? Gerard? Looking at that name there. Looks like a French twinge to it. Perhaps a little French. I'm not positive. I'm not very good at this sort of linguistic, sort of discerning linguist. I don't even know where I'm going with that. All right, well, here's what we're going to do tonight. I had some stuff yesterday, times about 5 there, that I was going to do on the last show and never got to it. So we're going to do some of that. Of course, we can take the callers. And if we do have callers tonight, I have a special thing that I'm going to do. Hey, French Canadian. I got it. See? Every now and then, it works. Okay? So I'm guessing this guy is probably grew up in Quebec. Maybe a Quebec guy. Probably likes hockey. Probably is used to cold weather. Stuff like that. Says a boot. Things of that nature. Those are all things I use through logic. Like if you ever saw Norm Macdonald's joke about the professor of logic, that's me. I'm the professor of logic. Well, I have a special surprise for anyone who wants to call into the show. It's like a little thing, which I don't really have 20 questions to ask somebody, but I'm going to call it 20 questions because that's a popular way to do that. And whoever calls in, I'm going to ask some of these questions. My phone's already ringing. Hey, guess what? My phone's in my pocket. This is great. This is fantastic. It's not even hooked up yet. Let me see if I can hook it up in time. I wonder if this person will stay on the line long enough. Always prepared, Zach. You get like tunnel vision. I can do this. I can do this. Let's see. It's probably going to be Canon anyway. It's a complete waste of time. Let's see here.
You know it was me.
Well, I knew it was you because I could just sense it. I actually hit the wrong button and almost put the outro on while I was trying to plug the phone in real quick. I just knew it was you because I see you in the chat there, and I can almost feel like you're going to call this show. I can feel it coming out of the chat. And look, you did. I was right.
It also probably helps that I use my work phone instead of my regular phone, so you didn't actually know it was me.
I was pretty sure it was you. I was, if I had to guess, I would do like 80
I tried to be
percentile.
sneaky.
Well, it says the location when you call. So it says like Kansas City, Missouri on it. So
But I'm not
kinda,
in Kansas City, Missouri.
yeah, but you typically come from that region. So
Fair. What's your 20 questions you're asking me?
I'm not, see, you weren't paying any attention because I said I didn't have 20 questions. I have like 8. And I'm going to ask you 4.
I'm fine with 8.
Well, I'm only going to give you 4 because I'm kind of hoping there's more than one person that does this. And I want to ask the same
Fair
question.
enough.
Although I could ask the same questions again. All right, Cannon. All right. Here's the ground rules. If you mention Tinder, the call is immediately over. All right. That's the ground rule.
Okay.
That's the only rule to this call.
I
Okay.
have a girlfriend now, so we don't talk about that.
All right. We won't talk about it.
And her uncle could possibly be watching the show, so
Her uncle could be watching this show.
yeah, he does HVAC in Louisiana.
And do you think
Not
that he
John
knows
Israel,
about
I
this?
already asked.
Well, John Israel isn't every HVAC tech in Louisiana. The state is full of other techs. You know that, right?
I was aware.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
But he
Okay.
also owns his own company, so I was just like, we
Wait.
might be having a problem there.
Wait, he owns his own company and he's in Louisiana? Then there's only like 4 of those guys.
I know, right?
So John's one of those guys. That's a 25% chance right there.
Exactly.
All right. Well, that's ridiculous. So I'm going to ask you these questions. And, all right, let me see if I can pick some of these out because you've only been in the trade for about half an hour. So I don't want to.
I've been in for 5 years now.
Good grief. Really? How old are you now?
25.
25. Wow. That's amazing. Seems like just the other day you were just coming into the trade, bright-eyed,
And doing Instagram for you.
doing
And-
Instagram for me.
Then we did that podcast, and I wasn't even 21 yet. I was still 20 on that podcast.
You were just a baby.
I know, right?
You were just a baby. Okay, since you're so well versed in HVAC now, I think the
I am Nate certified. Do you not remember that picture I sent you?
you're Nate certified.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. We should probably do questions about how much weight is the Nate. Maybe that'll be a question. What are you Nate certified
much-
in? Let me ask you that. What is your Nate certification in? And I don't want you to be like I'm still listening, but there's something I have to do right off the camera here. It's one of these little sound dampeners I have, aka Walmart blanket, that I have to move. But I am listening to you, so go ahead and say it, and feel free to
Well,
take 10 or 15 seconds.
I'm heat pump certified.
That's it.
That's it.
You're making it sound like there was like 50 things that you were about to say.
No, I just have the heat pump. Boilers are scary.
Well, that's not only 2. I mean, I'm sure there's more of them.
I'm sure there's more too, but I just wanted to say boilers look scary.
All right. Well, boilers are scary. Haven't you ever seen The Shining?
Yes, actually.
Hey, that was a good pop culture reference right there. All right. Well, all right. Let me ask you these questions. I'm going to start with this one right here. It'll be on the screen for everybody. And here it is. Here's the first question for you, Cannon.
Okay.
Have you ever been fired or walked out on a job?
I have walked out on a job.
Okay. So why did you walk out on the job, and what was the job first?
I was a grocery bagger at Price Chopper, and I was leaving
Price Chopper.
I was leaving a day early so that I could go to a funeral. And my boss told me I was a pain in the ass.
Because
So
you
I
were going to a
said-
funeral? Did you have like a pre-existing relationship with your boss that caused him to say this?
No. And it was a lady, and she also actually got arrested for stealing money from Price Chopper.
Well, there's probably nothing to steal. Price Chopper.
Yeah. Stealing the money because she was the one that wrote all the books.
So, oh my gosh, Price Chopper's corrupt to the core. So you just walked out when she said you. That's
She
it?
said, "You're a pain in the ass." I said, "I'm going to make you a real pain in the ass." Clocked out and walked out.
Wow. And then you went into HVAC, and the rest is history.
I was going to school for it at that time, so yeah.
Oh, so you knew you had another job, coming along here.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Well, all right. Branching off of that, the next question is, why did you go into HVAC?
Uh, honestly, have no clue.
Well, what is that even? How did you even? Well,
I
why'd you
just,
sign up for
I
the course?
look. I'll tell you what happened. Uh, I failed my first semester of college. Did okay the second semester and decided I did not want to do any more school. But I still kind of want to be near my girlfriend that was still going to college. It was 3 hours away from my parents' house. So I went to tech school for HVAC that was only 45 minutes away.
Okay. So, what were you going to college for before that?
Agricultural technology.
Agricultural technology, which is what?
I have no clue.
Well, there
It
is
has
technology in
something to do with
agriculture.
tractors and heavy equipment, and I thought it sounded fun.
All right. Well, it turns out you made a good move because trades are where it's at, and you don't even have to go to college,
I'm
really.
also, I looked, I made $20,000 more than the average pay in that industry.
Okay. So you make $20,000 more now than you would as a full-fledged agricultural technologist?
That's what it said on the internet.
No, well, okay. All right. So we're not going to ask you what you made because that's just wrong. But what is your job title currently?
HVAC service technician.
So you're a service technician now. You're full-fledged. I know you are because we've spoken via the internet about various service situations. So
Yes.
yeah, okay. Well, good for you. How long have you been a full-fledged tech?
Technically a full-fledged tech for 5 years.
Hey, all right. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, very good. And you're making $20,000 more than what I assume a tractor GPS programmer makes because they drive themselves now. So I'm just going to go with that. And so let's ask this question: you've been in 5. Where do you
What?
want to be in 5 more years?
Where do I want to be in 5 more years?
Yeah, don't be like at my house or something. I mean, where do you want to be in your
Probably
life?
exactly where I'm still at. Don't know if I'm gonna branch further out, but as far as I know right now, exactly where I'm at.
So you still want to be a
Unless I
service tech?
find out how I can off road for the rest of my life and make a living doing that, then I'm gonna be doing that.
All right. So you either want to be a service tech or you want to go mudding professionally.
Rock crawling.
Rock crawling? So what do you rock crawl in? A buggy or what?
No, my Jeep.
Oh,
It's
you.
on
Oh, I
Facebook.
got you. Okay, that's right. You're a Jeep guy. That's right. I remember now.
I'm on 37s now.
37s. Well, that's you're high
37
above
inch
the earth.
tires.
Oh, I got you. I mean, my brother had a Tacoma jacked up in high school, which actually was pretty cool. They're pretty nice trucks. I like
Your
Tacoma.
Ford Ranger wasn't jacked up?
No, I've never jacked up a single car in my life. I just wasn't into it. But a lot of my my redneck friends would have the jacked up trucks, and I guess you're that. You're like a redneck, aren't you?
I've been told I am.
What kind of music do you listen to?
Country music.
Country
Mostly.
music. Yeah, check that box. All
But
right.
I listen to hip hop actually.
Hick hop.
Yeah.
What is that like? Jason Aldean?
No. Ryan Upchurch. You can kind of count Jelly Roll, but he's really not, but he sort of is.
I don't even know who these people
Adam
are.
Calhoun.
What about that Waylon Jennings' son or grandson? He's hick hop, right? Wait,
I'm not sure because I don't know who you're talking about.
all right. Well, all right. Let's go on to the next question then. Here's your final question, and I'm going to go with. Okay, let's do this one. What is your favorite tool?
What's my favorite tool?
Favorite tool? Not like the band. Schism.
Man, that Klein 8-in-1.
That's a
It's
good
got
answer.
the slip drive, nut driver, 5/16 and quarter. That's a pretty good nut driver. I like that a lot.
Like the
Use that
slide
every day.
driver?
Yeah, the slide driver.
Oh, nice. Okay. Hey, that's a good answer because a lot of people be like, they want some fancy tool or something like that. It's the simple ones that really become your
Like,
favorites.
My smart probes are pretty nice. But I use those every day too. But the 8-in-1's just better.
Hey, I think it's a better answer. I like that.
Slide drive only does one tool, only does one thing, or the smart probes. The slide drive does all sorts of things.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I think it's a great choice. I think it's a really good choice. Hey, great job, Cannon. You answered those questions like a boss.
I know it's a lot better than what I first was, right? Where we were just talking about Tinder all the time.
What'd I tell you?
Hey, you know what? I got one thing to tell you about that. TikTok ended up being a better dating site.
Oh my gosh. You know I'm gonna hit the button now, right?
Yeah, I know.
I'm gonna talk to you later. He hung up on me in advance. Cannon knows that the rules are if you say Tinder, it's over. The call is over. Because the people in the chat will start to go, in this now. But I thought it was a good conversation. Answered the questions really well. And he has been in there 5 years now. So it's an interesting perspective because I've been podcasting for that same amount of time. So it's kind of followed along with Cannon's career. That's the whole reason I have a podcast, just so I can follow Cannon's career. And I hope to come back in 5 years and he'll either be, I guess, what'd he say? He's going to be off-roading with his Jeep, which I assume is a Jeep Compass, probably. I'm just going to guess. Probably a Jeep Compass if I had to guess. But let's do this. Let me go back, and we'll mention a couple of our sponsor friends. And I should have brought in some pictures of the YJack probes I was using at work, but I didn't. So we'll just talk about this. Yellow Jacket sells a number of things. This is the recovery machine I've been talking about the last few episodes. But I'm going to tell you what. I was using the YJack probes today, and I'll get some pictures of those in action. I think I probably have some on, I don't know if it's TikTok. I'm on TikTok or Instagram or something. But they have the pressure probes and the pipe clamps and everything, and I really like them. I really think they're great. They work really well, and they have a great distance. But you get that sort of quality with Yellow Jacket tools, and you can find out more at yellowjacket.com, all that stuff. What's up, Alexander? Alexander Figueroa is joining us. We got Navac here as well. I have the battery-powered vacuum pumps here. They make a plethora, can we say plethora now, of battery-powered tools. They have both these battery-powered vacuum pumps, the 4 CFM and the 2 CFM. They have the battery-powered flaring tool. They also have a battery-powered swager now. So they're expanding on that battery platform, which I think is really, really popular. As battery technology advances, we can do more and more things that we could only do either plugged in or by hand now with batteries, which is really, really nice. You can find a lot of this stuff at TrueTech Tools, which is one of our sponsors as well. And you can use our Shop Talk discount code to save 8% at TrueTech Tools. All right, we'll come back to the other ones. Yeah, I know Cannon's like, I've never owned a Compass. I tried to think of the least masculine Jeep I could possibly think of. It's either going to be Compass or, what's the other one, Liberty? The Compass or the Liberty. And I think the best Jeep I can think of, is it CJ7? Is it a Wrangler, I think? It's just like the iconic Jeep. The CJ7, I think, is just very popular. A lot of people like it. Hey, it's great. Okay, guys. You can still call in to this show anytime you want. I am going to talk about some other stuff for a little bit. I'm going to talk about some of the stuff I was going to talk about last time, actually, if I could bring that up. And what it is I'm kind of figuring this out for myself now, that it's no longer going to be SEER rating. They're going to have SEER 2, and it's just a whole different ballgame. So I was like, I don't know what this is. What is SEER 2? So I wanted to bring up some stuff about it just so we could all figure out together. So I'm going to read this first thing right here. It's on the screen. It says about SEER 2. Some of the stuff I got from like supply house websites, but I looked up as much as I could, and I have a feeling some of our guests that we typically have on, like Objute, will probably know a whole lot more about this, and perhaps some of our other guests as well. What's up, Steve? Welcome to the show. Okay, it says about SEER 2. SEER 2 stands for Seasonal Energy Efficiency Ratio 2. Specifically, SEER 2 is the total heat removed from a conditioned space during an annual cooling season. So it spans the entire season, so it sounds just like SEER so far. Okay, here's the difference in this next part. The new M1 testing procedure will increase systems' external static pressure by a factor of 5 to better reflect field conditions of installed equipment. With this change, new nomenclature will be used to denote M1 ratings, including EER2 and HSPF2. All right, so I guess it's talking about, instead of testing, and I think it's going to say, and it says down there at the bottom of this page, under M1 testing procedures, they're going to change it from 0.1 inches of water, a static, to 0.5 inches of water, which is more like a normal situation. Because you guys know when you get out there, I mean, the static is never 0.1 unless there's no duct on the thing. Or there's like a box with a grill on the back of an air handler or furnace. There's always 0.5 static most of the time. I know a lot of us out here do a pretty good job. We get our static lower than that. But a lot of times it's 0.5 or higher. I've seen static well over 1. And it causes all sorts of issues. So having this new testing procedure in that way is more representative of what goes on in the field. For sure. In fact, it could probably be a little bit higher. I don't know what the average static pressure ends up being, but I'm sure it's between 0.5 and 0.75, I would think. I'm going to read this part about M1 testing procedures. It says the goal of the new SEER 2 testing procedures is to better represent external conditions seen in the field, which is sort of what we just talked about. Current SEER testing does not accurately emulate the influence of ductwork and external static pressure on HVAC products. Because of this, it is not often representative of real-world applications. Well, it is kind of nice to have something reflect real-world applications. Steve in the chat, which is HVAC Residential Basics, says he sees static pressure 0.7, 0.9, 1.2. He sees those weekly. So, I mean, that's a significantly higher number, especially since that initial testing procedure, which was 0.1, which is just not happening. That's just not happening anywhere except for like a very small amount of situations. I'm going to go ahead and read this M1 testing requirement piece too before I click off of this. It says to meet new testing requirements, manufacturers are redesigning system components. In fact, all air conditioning and heat pump systems must be renovated, I like that, by January 1, 2023, even if they meet current SEER ratings. In addition, matching components such as furnaces and air handlers will be redesigned to meet changes in the airflow set point. Depending on your region, additional field install equipment such as thermal expansion valves also may be required. All right. So things are changing here on Walton's Mountain, everybody. They're raising the bar again. Eventually the bar will go so high that no machine can possibly keep up, but it's just a way of the times. They're going to make sure things are energy efficient. And this new testing procedure, actually, it makes sense to me because what is the point of having a testing procedure if it doesn't reflect what's actually going to happen? I mean, as best intentions can be, we're still going to miss the mark with 0.1 for sure. So here's a SEER 2 chart. I thought it was kind of interesting because it shows where we're going to be in 2023, which is just a few short months away, guys. So it has our SEER rating, and in North, Southeast, and Southwest, it was 13 back in 2006. Everybody remembers that influx of new equipment. So in 2015, that remained the same in the North, but in the Southeast and Southwest, it boosted up to 14. We all remember that too. That was just a few years ago, 2015, although it's hard to believe. It's 7 years ago. That's wild. And now in 2023, in the North, it's going to be 14. In the Southeast and Southwest, it's going to be 15. So just going to move up a little bit more. Now, that's SEER is what it says. That's not the SEER 2, but it's going to be indicative of what's going to happen. So let's look a little bit more. This is just kind of a repeat. January 1, 2023, all heat pumps will be subject to nominal minimum efficiency levels, while single package heat pumps must remain at 13.4 SEER 2. So now they're going to talk in SEER 2. So in 14 SEER, it's actually 13.4 SEER 2. And 6.7 HSPF 2 or 8 HSPF, all split system heat pumps must increase to 14.3 SEER 2. Well, that's a mouthful right there. Good grief. And you can just see that it's kind of confusing. It makes sense, but it's kind of confusing still. I wanted to mention that stuff because we're going to get into that more and more and try to understand it a little bit more. And perhaps we'll have some people come on and talk about it at some point or another. Or maybe one of you guys know about it and you can just call in and talk about it. Again, the phone line's open. You can call at any time. We've been playing Ask Some Questions to people. You can talk about the events of your day. It doesn't matter. If you had an interesting call, come in. We'd like to hear about it. All right? We don't want to know what you had for breakfast or anything like that, but we do want to know if something interesting has happened. All right, so we do have a caller. Here we go. You are on the air.
Hey, what's up?
What's happening?
Not much.
Alexander, you want me to ask you some questions? You ready?
Well, go ahead. I don't mind.
All right, well, that's a spirit. You're like, whatever. All right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I ask questions to Cannon, And basically, these are
Okay.
just questions to spur a little bit of conversation, just basic questions about your career, just your thoughts on
Okay.
certain things.
Cool.
So I'm going to start with the ones that I did not ask him. And
Okay.
here's the first one.
Okay.
What is your strength and weakness? What is your strength as it pertains to HVAC? Not like you can't
Yeah.
throw a football or something like that. What is your strength in HVAC?
I was always good wiring stuff up, so
Good at
I
wiring
was
stuff.
good.
Okay, good
I
with
was good with the
electrical.
wiring,
Okay, that's high
controls and
voltage,
stuff like that.
low voltage. Okay, so you're talking about all across the board.
Yeah.
So what made you
And
good
like,
at that? Is that something you came up tinkering with? I mean, where did that come from?
I always like the things. I was always like a mechanic. So if I had a diagram, I could fix it. So
Also, you're good at following schematics, which is a skill
yeah.
I found in life. It's hard to
I
do
do.
sometimes.
I did it well because I was always when I started green, it was like everybody's like, this wire goes here, this wire goes there.
Oh
So I
yeah,
would just
I know
like
what you mean.
just go by the whatever what was on the drawing, and they would like fight with me. No, it doesn't go like that. But hey, the drawing says it goes like that. So
I know it's always funny if you have like another technician and they're not good at schematics. They just can't follow them, and they're putting something together, and you know it's wrong, and you can see it unfolding as wrong, but it's kind of awkward. It's like, hey man, yeah, you know, that's low voltage. You just plugged it into high voltage. It goes up here. Man.
they did that. Speaking about that, one time I was changing a contact. I think it was a 30-ton split, and it was 460, and somebody put 460 to the contactor coil
Oh, I bet that fried
instead of
real fast.
24.
Did you get to turn it on and see it?
It burned out both. I think it was 100 VA transformers. It burned out the thermostat downstairs.
Oh yeah, because it's
And
all interconnected, right? So it's going to jump on there until it just fries everything.
it fried almost everything that was 24 volts. It fried.
You know, and this is a commercial setting because it's 460 volts, so there could be some
Yeah.
expensive 24 volt controls that are fried along the
Because
way.
some have 24.
Oh dear, I just lost him. Alexander, I think I just lost you for a second. So just hold on because I know exactly what happened. Hold on one
Okay, no
second.
problem.
Okay, I got you back. You know what happened is the Bluetooth in my car. Someone just drove my car into the yard and it hooked up to the Bluetooth.
Oh, that's great.
It's funny. Luckily, this happened before, so I'm well versed at identifying it. But you were saying we were talking about how it burned up all the 24 volt stuff, and then I lost
Yeah.
you.
It zapped the contactor. It zapped the contactor for that stage. It zapped the transformers. Anything that was 24 volts. Time delays, everything.
Oh man, that's a lot of money right there.
Even the thermostat downstairs in blue, it just made it was a black blob when I took all the wires out.
Oh my gosh, what a disaster! So who did this? Was this an experienced guy?
Then it was a 2-stage, so I only had a 1-stage thermostat. So I had to put with relays in on the roof. I think for that time I was working with the other company. I had some relays, and I just put relays in the time delay for the second stage, and that's it.
I was wondering, you said you could put like a time delay for like, I don't know, 10 minutes or something like that.
You put for the second stage 5.
Five. Hey,
Yeah, 5.
I like it. Hey, you're a problem solver, Alexander. I
Yeah.
like that. You didn't wire them both up simultaneously.
From the factory, they come 5, so.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Well, that works great.
I mean, if you have, sometimes you can put it 3, but let's leave it at 5.
I think 5's good. 3 seems like it's not quite long enough, really.
Actually, the ones that the train puts on their systems, it's 3.
3 minutes to go to second stage?
No. For first stage 3, and then when you have a programmable thermostat, it's 5 for second stage.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. All right, that makes sense. Okay,
Then second stage kicks out, I think, 2 degrees before set point, and then it goes with 1 stage instead of set point.
Oh. All right. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. I got another one for you. We're going to do multiples of these. Okay. So,
No problem.
all right. I'm going to pick one that hasn't been used already. All right. Well, we'll do this. Would you tell your kids to do HVAC?
If I had, sure.
Yeah, I mean, theoretically, if you don't have kids, I mean, if you had kids, would you tell them to pursue the same career?
To do something in a trade, to be used, in some type of trade, doesn't have to be air conditioning. It's best you can be controls or electric. It's so many things you can do. it goes out so many fields and branches. Just let them pick what they wanna do.
So why would you tell them to go for a trade specifically? Is this something? Well, you tell me. Why a trade? If their kid came to you and said, "I want to go to college. I'm going to be a banker," would you say, "Hey, man, bad idea. Why don't you go be a welder?"
No, because you have you're getting a labor shortage. Years past, and there's more or less people that can do the job. You got to find a way how to motivate younger people. Put them a right way how to start.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think working with your hands is one of the best things you can do.
And if you work, I mean, like I'm not city country, but I learned a lot of stuff how to work with my hand. I had a friend that they moved out to the mainland, but his father was an industrial mechanic for like 30 plus years, and this guy was he's the one who taught me mechanics.
Right.
He did mechanic. I did mechanical work. He helped me work on my car. He would help me. I would help him work on his car, stuff like that.
So is that where your desire came from? From having that example
I
set for
always,
you?
I always like tinkering with stuff anyway. So
Did you put together stuff and rip it apart as a kid?
yes,
Yeah, I did the same thing. I disassembled like old toasters and stuff when I was
I
like
always liked
5, 6, 7.
electronics. I always did it with electronics, and I never took an electronics course. But I know how to use the tools and all that now. But when you learn, and
Well,
when I was taking the course, they would teach you basic electricity, and they would teach you a little bit of electronics. But
well, let me ask you a question, because I've always been curious about this subject. In HVAC, there are a lot of electronics, especially now as time goes by, and in like the commercial industrial side, they've been there for a long time. So, could you take and design a functional circuit board yourself,
like a test, how do you say, like one of those
like a
like one of
breadboard?
those, oh, like a breadboard.
Yeah, just put something together on a breadboard and have it work to
Good.
do simple tasks.
Yeah, I could put on and off, or make on and off. You could put like little bulbs, simulating this one's going to be the compressor, this one's going to be the fan.
I got you. Well, see, that
They
interests me.
they actually do have trainer boards. I saw them on I think website or something. They actually have trainer boards now for like to find basic faults. They have one for low. They have one for low voltage specifically, so you can do all the troubleshooting on it. And they had a refrigeration one for a defrost cycle. They have a couple of them.
That's pretty cool. That's a great
There's
idea.
There's a company that's making them. I don't remember.
Let's
But I remember
investigate.
seeing the ad. I think they advertise on Facebook or Instagram. I forgot.
Now,
But these people actually, they're people that they're actually making. They're like instructors that they're making the boards, like giving you the blueprints for free, and like you can make it so you can teach your students.
oh, here I am on Amazon to see if something pops up. I guess that's not the right spot to look. They just have like
But they
the whole
do use
breadboard
those.
kits.
They use those like those basic ones, like the circuits and stuff like that. They have those that you can buy at electronics store, and I always that.
Yeah, man, go down to Radio Shack if it wasn't
I
closed.
wish this. They're still online.
Are they?
Yes, they're online.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I thought they were just gone
There's
off
no
the face of
physical
the earth.
stores anymore.
Oh, okay. Because that used to be a
You
store I
would
used to
have to
go
go
into.
to a local, like here. I have a couple of places that they still sell electronics. They're like electronic stores.
I'm gonna look that
You
up
could
on the
probably-
internet then. I'm gonna look that up because I didn't realize they were still around.
Yeah, they sell like little kits, like those little kits they used to sell. There's one like make your own drone or something like that, and there's another one that's like make your own light circuit board, whatever.
I take a step down from that. I go to the Harbor Freight and buy the wooden car kit and glue it together.
Oh yeah, that's fun.
I'm
Harbor
just a
Freight's
simpler
fun.
person. That's why I do that.
They don't have them. They don't have them here. But when AHR was in Orlando, I went. That was back in 2020 before all the mess started.
The virus.
The virus.
Before the virus turned us all
The
to
C and the
zombies.
D.
Oh yeah,
You
zombies
can't-
that stay
you
at
can't-
home.
You can't say the whole thing. You get censored. Or you.
Hey, in that case, I'll ask you one more question. Okay, we'll just transfer into that. Let's see. I'm gonna ask you. All right, we'll do this. What is your favorite aspect of HVAC?
Aspect?
Yeah, just what is your favorite activity? What's the favorite part of the trade? When you wake up in the morning, what do you hope it is that's gonna happen that day in HVAC?
I always I'm doing shop work now. Is like what's when the container comes in, what new they're gonna what something new is going to come in broken for me to fix it, or
Oh, that's
you
right.
know,
Yeah, you get to work on that
I
stuff. That's right.
yeah, and to work in the when I used to work in the with the other company was like well, whatever the day throws at me, you know.
I like that. I mean, I like the
Sometimes
variability of it.
sometimes they will tell you look at 4. Sometimes it will be like 3 o'clock a Friday, and then like it's like 90 miles away, and oh yeah, our machine is down. You gotta go check it out.
Oh, so you have to drive basically halfway across the whole island?
There was one site that you would have to go across the island. Like I'm on the west side, you have to go all the way to the east side.
How far is it again?
It was 3 hours and a half.
No,
If I was home,
Yeah.
if I was home or close by the home. If I wasn't close by the home, and if I was up north, it'll probably be like an hour and a half, 2 hours. Depends where I was at up north.
Man, that's pretty good. You're good at answering questions too. You're doing a bang up job.
I don't
Hey, you're doing a bang up job, Alexander. Okay.
know.
All right.
I try my best.
Well, I'm gonna let somebody else give it a try. I'm gonna ask them some questions, and
Okay, go ahead,
let's
shoot.
do it again next time. How's that?
Yeah. How
I
did
do.
your ordeal with the 22 thing go?
The replacement?
Yeah.
You know, I just did that, and hey, good question there. I just did that today, actually.
Oh, okay.
So I went in there today because the vacuum was being a son of a gun. It's like this unit
Okay.
must have been, rode hard and put up wet or something, literally wet,
Yeah.
because it took a long time to evacuate it down to what was reasonable, not like the goal that you would normally reach, just what you would accept.
I will get 1,000. If I got 1,000, I'm good.
And that's really the criteria that I was looking for. I got it to decay for 5-10 minutes and not be near 1,000. It just decayed, I don't know, like 100
Maybe you
microns.
had a lot of maybe there's a lot of moisture in that line or something.
I think there probably was. I think there probably was a lot of issues because it had been repaired before. I don't know what kind of procedure was taken then. So I spent time. It took like 2 separate days. I vacuumed
Did you
this thing.
swipe nitrogen to it? Like just
I
leave it
did.
in there and like they used to do?
3 times. 3 times this thing was broken and bled through with nitrogen.
Huh?
And so it finally got to where I would accept what had happened as, good enough. And I used 422B because that's what
Yeah, the
United
new
had.
22B. Yeah.
And it's, it seemed like it was working pretty well.
They work similar to 22. The pressure is a little bit lower.
Yeah, it was a little bit lower.
The discharge is a little bit higher.
Yeah, that's what I noticed when it was coming through there. I was looking at the pressure. I was like, oh, running a little bit low pressure because I had R22 in the brain. And I was looking down there.
It's
And
like
I looked at the saturation. I was like, oh, we're
like
much
50,
better.
55, and the other one goes like it goes like a little bit higher. I forgot how much it was, but I know it was higher than 22.
Yeah, it was 22 breaks freezing around 58 psi, and I think this was closer to like 51 or 52.
Yeah, I'll freeze up at 45 probably.
Yeah, it seems to be working fine. It's really premature for me to say that because it was just today.
No, like
ran
I
it.
say, if what happens is that everybody forgets if it runs over 32, it's not gonna freeze. When it runs under 32 saturated, that's where you're gonna have problems. It's gonna freeze up.
Oh yeah, and under that criteria, it's doing well. But like I said, it's the first day. It seemed to be fine. I was
Knock on wood.
measuring air temperature at the outlets and not at the machine, so it wasn't a true air split. It was probably a degree or two shorter than it would have been if I would have measured at the machine. But it was close enough that I thought it was good.
Was it a hot day?
It was, you're in Puerto Rico.
70, 75?
Oh no, it was in the 80s. It was 80s.
I say
here.
a hot day because here normally it's 95 at midday, so.
It wasn't that bad. It was probably 83 to 85 degrees.
You're good. You're good.
So yeah, it seemed like it was doing very well.
You're good.
A lot of humidity inside the house because it's the first time the system had been run there in months. So I mean, the humidity was relative 65%.
No
so high.
rotten sock odor?
No, not on this one.
Okay, you're good.
Thank goodness. Yeah, it seems, I think it's going to be just
Sometimes when you
fine.
don't turn it on for a while, you get that rotten sock odor.
No, we didn't have any issues like that. I know what you're talking about, but luckily it didn't happen on this one, which is good. No,
That happens
stinky,
here a lot.
stinky. Yeah, we get that from time to time. Yeah, you guys probably really got it. It's really
It's
bad.
really like sometimes it's 70, 80%.
That's real high. At the beach here, sometimes it gets pretty high like that, but it's rare. It gets 80%.
I mean, when it gets really hot, well, it's usually 65, 70. I mean, like at night.
Oh yeah, it skyrockets at night. Once the air cools off and it's just saturated because the moisture's still there. It dews all summer long at night. There's dew on the ground, so it must be saturated. I guess that proves it's
Yeah,
saturated.
it's nice. It's nice and comfy, like I say at night.
Yeah, it ain't nice and comfy.
I don't need no
Phil.
I don't need no speaking AC. Put the ceiling fan on.
Well, don't you guys have trade winds or something that come through there all the time?
You can have a cold front. I'll bring some cold, and you'll have sometimes a rain. But
But-
that's now in summer, like for hurricane season.
But do you have a constant wind moving through there?
It depends on the area you're in.
Well, how about
You
your
know,
house? Is there a constant wind at
If
your
you
house?
live let's just say, if you live down south, which is dry, some towns are more windier than others. Like I live in the northwest, so it's like sometimes if they have a draft coming from the Atlantic side, it depends where the draft's coming from.
Yeah, I was picturing
If
you
you're
guys
up
always
north,
having
it's
wind.
Atlantic. If you're down south, it's the Caribbean Sea, like that, etc.
But always hot. So it's a
Like,
warm breeze.
Yeah, I like there's one turn that's like a desert. You would go there. It's actually I call it the desert because it's dry all the time.
On the island?
Yeah, it's down south. There's towns down south. They're dry.
Wow. Well,
'Cause I live on the northwest side, so
hey, don't stay away from the south side.
south side's good.
It's a bunch of cactuses and cowboys. Yeah.
Not yet. Who knows?
Not that bad. All right, dude. Let me catch somebody else. That was good, though. Good question. Thanks for reminding me about that because I want to talk about that. And
Okay, no problem.
just touch base again next time.
Yeah, okay, no problem.
All right, dude.
Okay,
I'll
see
talk to you later. I'm going to hit a couple more sponsors here. Thank you, Alexander. Alexander's, he's so good at lots of stuff, lots of stuff. And I just like him because he's like a down-to-earth guy that's just good at stuff. I like the guys who are really good at stuff, but they don't have to be like, I'm good at stuff all the time, like in lights above their heads. That's nice. So, sponsors. Hey. All right, Company Cam, the only app every contractor needs. Document your jobs, communicate with your crews, cover your company's butt. Succinctly put, Company Cam, succinctly put. You can go to companycam.com, learn more about the way your company can consolidate some of that media like you see on the screen here. For those of you at the podcast, it's pictures of jobs. Put your pictures of jobs in one location, organize them. It actually works with other apps you might already be using. There's a list of them at companycam.com. Why don't you go check it out? That's a tricky way to get you to go there and check that out. But it's going to be good for your business. Companycam.com. EWCcontrols.com. You can find out more about their zoning supplies. BM Plus 3000, great zone panel. A lot of things you can customize on there. They have the Ultra Talk stuff, which is like the high-end communicating system panel. Really, really nice. A variety of thermostats that are both wireless and Wi-Fi, so they can hook up to your internet. Plus, you can have these modules it communicates with if you can't run a wire. And then, of course, their dampers, which are legendary for lasting long periods of time. EWCcontrols.com. And last but not least, refrigeration technologies. Buy all the coil cleaners, clean all the coils. You'll be such a hero. All spring long. Refrigetech.com. All right. Now, I think I still had a couple more things from the other. Oh, yeah, we were going to talk about the Power V. Anyone can still call in. I know we had a call come in while I was talking to Alexander. You can call back in. I'll ask you the questions, and we'll talk about this until then. The Power V. So I ran across this because I was reading the manual from United, and evidently Heil and the other ICPs probably have stumbled upon the holy grail of coil technology, which looks like an upside-down microchannel coil. I don't know if this is a good idea or a bad idea. I know it looks weird, and I don't know. It's the EVD4X aluminum coil. Here's what they say about it. I'm going to skip right to these little numbers on the screen there. Number one says V-shaped coil. The new Heil EVD4X aluminum coil delivers similar performance to an A coil in the size of an N coil with better reliability, better condensate management, and better quality. The V-shaped geometry provides improved heat transfer, more even and controlled airflow over the coil, and improved system efficiency in a lighter, corrosion-resistant coil. And with the system efficiency, it has a little asterisk there, a little cross, says, with optimized outdoor unit under new M1 test procedures. That's probably where I started thinking about those test procedures, because it said that. Number 2 says Power V coil design / technology. Our new coil is constructed of flat aluminum refrigerant channels brazed to rigid aluminum fins. It is configured in a V shape with header tube, blah blah, boring. Combined, these design changes allow for the same or better SEER ratings without growing the size of the coil. Hey, man, Connor says that pan sucks. I got questions about that pan. That pan looks a little goofy there, but I you don't want to prejudge. But when I saw this, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's a microchannel upside down coil. Like an upside down cake, except it's a coil. They're not alike in any way. I don't know why I said that. Number 3 says rugged, lasting drain pans. The corrosion-resistant drain pan is designed in a polybutylene, oh my, look at that. We're going to say PBT material that offers unsurpassed pan strength. Man, okay, let me just tell you guys something right now. Those pans are unsurpassed in strength. So when you go buy a unit, what's the first thing you want to ask for? Unsurpassed pan strength. Now you've got it. They are engineered with proper slope in both pans to help ensure water drainage and improved moisture removal as well. Hey, sounds good. Number 4, durable, fully insulated cabinet. Guys, did you know that these air conditioner guys are insulating the cabinets now? Man, they should have done this in the past. A lot less sweating in Florida. All right. REF, I guess I just can't read. I just can't read. Our EVD4X aluminum V coil is housed in a durable 24-gauge pre-painted cabinet. The fully insulated cabinet foil faced with our 2.1 insulation, 2.1, provides for quiet, efficient operation of the evaporator coil. 2.1? Wasn't it supposed to be 4? Good grief. What the world? All right. Well, that's the Power V right there. Hey, wait, there's more on the Power V, so just hold on right there. The Power V has a chart. Customized comfort. Heil delivers comfort systems in a range of shapes and sizes. Check out this side-by-side comparison of our durable and efficient evaporator coils. All right, let me see. On this chart here, is there anything that's interesting? Oh, yes. Here's something interesting. The V coils are only used for air conditioning. All right, guys. I thought this was the most important part of all of this gobbledygook crap that's on these 2 slides right here. AC only. So if I see something that says it's AC only, what I hear is it can't take high pressure. That's what I hear. Because if it's heat pump too, so all right, heat pump, you could take 400 or 500 PSI, 600 PSI. But if it's AC only, I'm thinking this thing can't take high pressure. Hey, Dirty Waters TD says perfect for rental properties. Yeah, perfect for rental properties. Yeah, because you're going to put that electric heat with that air conditioner in that rental property. That's right. Michael Frank says, well, looks like a smaller footprint for a drain pan, less water to hold. Yep. I don't know about this thing, guys, but you know, there's so many advancements out there that you really can't say that it's going to suck yet. But I know that a lot of times sales brochures will dress things up that do suck and make them look appealing. I think it's called marketing, where you take something that no one should want and convince them that they want it. And that's marketing, and that's why you had that Don Draper. And he was very good at that. 6-Shooter says, let's make R22 great again. 6-Shooter? I haven't seen you in a long time, man. 6-Shooter. Good to have you back, man. All right, we have a caller on the air. You're on the air.
Hey, Zach, what's happening, brother?
Who's this?
Isaiah with Zay's Aaron Eat on YouTube, Zach.
It looks like you're Zaya with every single person in the chat.
Yeah, that's a couple of my trolls that follow you.
I thought that
How you
was
been, bro?
I thought it was different versions of you is what that was.
Yeah.
HVAC
Yeah, but
is life. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah. I'm listening to the stream with the new call from Carrier, and what it is, it's Carrier's version of the microchannel coil, but it's called the VTEC technology. Carrier originally brought that coil out in the late 90s to 2000s when the coil originally came out. But it's actually not a microchannel, it's the VTEC technology, they call it, designed by Carrier.
But
Yeah,
it
it's a pretty
looks
nice
like
coil.
microchannel to me. It looks like the exact
Yeah, it
same.
does
If they would
look
have
like
called
it.
it something
Yeah,
different.
it'll fool you. That's the thing, it'll fool you.
It looks
But,
like it's just
the
words.
reason why they're bringing that coil out is is due to the seasonal energy efficiency increase. They have to enlarge their claws, make them, to where they're too big to fit in the closet or whatever space you have the air handler in. That's just one reason why Carrier is coming out with this.
I thought you were doing a different occupation now.
Yeah. I've been back in HVAC for over a year. It didn't work out for what I was doing. But, and the reason why I got an HVAC, Zach, is, to help people. Keep people cool in the summertime and warm in the winter.
I feel bad because the reason I got an HVAC was to make money.
Yep, that's another reason.
Helping people was collateral.
He's on the air when he's talking. So that's just another reason why I got in the trade.
You sound like you're walking off in the distance or something here.
Yes, sir. I set my phone down. But that's another reason why I got into HVAC, is to help people, keep them cool in the summer and warm in the winter.
Cool in the summer and warm in the winter.
Whether it's hot in the summertime or cold in the winter, I always have a job to do.
So that's the reason you got into HVAC. You wanted to help people?
Yes, sir. It's basically one reason, and I get to work for my father every day of the week.
Do you still work for your father?
Yes, sir. I still do.
How is your father?
He's doing pretty good. He's having foot trouble now. Yeah, broke his toe a couple of years ago, and now it's getting to where he can't even walk on that 1 foot. But he's doing okay.
Your father, his name's Ted, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I thought I remembered that. All right.
Yes,
well,
sir.
I'm going to ask you one of the questions, okay? Are you ready?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
All right, this is 20 questions. This isn't anything major here. This is just, all right, I have the perfect question, I think, here. All right, the 5-year question. Where do you want to be in 5 years?
I want to basically, be a business owner one day in 5 years with 1 or 2 trucks on the road, and basically have a family, and just be able to spend quality time with my kids one day in 5 years. That's my goal in the next 5 years, to start a business and get big enough where I can at least have a little bit of overhead with 2 trucks.
Okay. Well,
That's my goal.
that sounds reasonable right there. A couple kids, couple trucks, got a couple of everything. Couple kids, couple trucks.
Yes,
might have a couple houses, one at the Gulf and one wherever you live right now. Be perfect.
Yeah, I'm in New Orleans, Zach.
Well, you're already there at the Gulf, so no need to buy a second house.
Yes, sir.
I don't know. What do you do for fun, Isaiah? Do you go out to the water? What do you do down there?
Yeah, I just, I sit at my computer desk sometimes late at night playing the video games when I'm on my spare time.
Right, so you ever unplug from the video games and go out and do something outside, or you just like the video games?
I get out too. Sometimes I'll walk about a mile or two during the day before I leave for work.
Oh, that's good. A mile or two. Is it now? What is that from? Is it you trying to exercise? What's the purpose of that?
Yeah, I'm trying to lose weight right now.
Have you been successful?
Yeah, I've been successful. I'm down to, I think, 312 is my weight right now.
Now, where'd you start? Where did you start?
Sir.
Where did you start?
Yeah,
what was your weight?
I started cutting out all the sugary sodas and stuff. Eating less, and drinking smoothies. I'm on the keto diet. Doing meal shakes, meal bars, etc., and drinking smoothies.
Okay.
Like I was doing a smoothie once every week, and walking.
I never had a smoothie before. They look gross to me, but that's good. I heard they're healthy. People like them now.
Yes, sir.
So you eat a lot of steak.
Yeah, I do a lot of grilled chicken on the grill, seasoned and stuff like that.
I like it. All right. Hey, Isaiah, I appreciate you calling in, man. I'm going to answer some questions from the chat now, but you can call in again, all right?
Yeah. All right. Yes, sir, brother. I'll be in the chat.
All right. Take care, man.
You too.
Later.
Bye.
Oh, Isaiah right there, guys. All right. That'll be our last call for today because I'm answering any chat questions you guys might have because I saw that 6-Shooter has one. I was going through my mind at my profit and loss statements while I thought about this. 6-Shooter 7651 says, "Hey, Zach, how much in sales do you think a one-man can do in a year?" And I guess some of that depends on location because you're going to charge certain ways in certain locations depending on the cost of living. I know for me personally, total sales, like how much the company made in a year, for me personally, it was probably around 200K-ish, something like that. But I wanted to say that Ralph actually got like 250. So maybe 200 to 300,000 for a one-man company. I think that, there's probably spirited sales types out there that could do better than that for sure. But I think me personally, 200K was where I was at, and I was able to keep everybody fed. I got a big family, and I was able to keep everybody fed. The lights were on and stuff like that. So I think that's, I don't know, successful, if you want to call it successful, but that's about where I was at with what I made. Now, like I said, I think people could probably do better than that. I started out much lower than that. The very first year I went out on my own, it was 30,000, which was, you guys know, nothing's 30,000. You can't take care of nobody. So we had a lot of problems in that time period. It was a rough time. That was when the economy tanked in 2008 after the housing crisis, and it was just very bad. We ended up about losing everything we owned, but it rebounded, and over the next few years, I was making that 200K I was talking about, had money in my pocket. It was really, really nice. So 6 year, it probably varies from place to place, but that's where I was at personally. North Carolina coastline, a relatively low cost of living. So I don't know, the average house across the United States, you have really high places like California, New York, metropolitan areas. My house cost $120,000. It was 1,600 square foot, and we have a call I am going to take. Here we go. Hello, you're on the air.
Yo.
I said there's no more calls, but I saw your picture flash. I said, well, I got to take this call.
I didn't catch that part.
Hey, that's okay. Hey, man, you got the straight line to the show, man. You ain't to worry about it.
Yeah, I seen that you were live, and I'm like, I'm going to call that guy.
You going to give me some more sales tips?
Nah.
Oh, hey.
I just left discipleship meeting. We talk about the Bible.
Hey, we can talk about the Bible. Let's run some of these people off of here. Let's do it. What's funny is, and I had to tell you this off the air, but you called me the other day. I saw you had called me the other day. It was just the worst day. And I'll explain that. It was horrible. Okay, it was horrible. And truly horrible. Today's a much better day. But I wasn't taking any calls that day. So I just wanted to let you know that.
I got you.
But I went to, speaking of the Bible and stuff, today's Monday. So yesterday was Sunday. I got up and like nobody in my house was motivated to go to church. I was like, you want to go to church? You want to go to church? I ended up going by myself to church again and sitting in there, but it was the best decision I could have made. It was a great service. I felt a ton better afterwards. I was just a happy camper after coming out of it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Good.
It was the right move, man. I get a little, like, I don't want to, going to church by yourself feels kind of awkward, but I was like, I need to just keep going no matter what the other people do. Just keep going because it's just like, it recharges my battery.
Man, sometimes it's the best thing. Like, I don't know. So Anna's had children's church. The kids go out for the main service or whatever. They have children's church in the back or whatever. And so Anna and the pastor's wife Jessica have had children's church for the past month, the last 4 Sundays.
Yeah.
So once praise and worship's over and the kids are dismissed to go to children's church, Anna was, not only did all my kids leave, but Anna left also. So I was left sitting there on the pew by myself. And I enjoyed it because you're not telling the kid to hush. You don't have anybody. There's nothing to distract you. I'm not saying that your wife and kids are a distraction. I'm just saying,
let's be honest.
You're focused on whatever the message is, and you're paying attention to scripture and all these things. I don't mind it.
I know. In that regard, you're right. I mean, my children are older, so usually I don't have to get on to them for talking, and half the time they sit with somebody else anyway. They go with their friends, and Jackson goes directly to the back. So I don't have that issue most of the time. It's just when you're used to your family coming with you to church, and all of a sudden, for like a few weeks, they're just not doing it. And you have to continue because we're fathers and we're supposed to be in charge of this for our family. So we have to continue so we can try to get them together with us. So it's tough. That's where I'm at.
Well, that's encouraging. I mean, that's just not to get on a rant about that, but like that's just encouraging that you still felt the need, draw to want to go regardless.
Yeah.
lots of people would just say, well, nobody else wants to go. I'm not going to go either.
It's easy excuse to grab onto too. I mean, it's real easy to say, all right, well, they're not coming, so I'll just watch it on TV. And I thought about that. I said, I'll watch service on TV. I said, no, it ain't the same. You can't keep doing that because it's not the same.
You can always find, if you want an excuse, you can always find one.
Absolutely. Yep, across the board.
Yeah, no doubt. That's not that ain't even Christian stuff. That's just life in general.
Yeah. I'm just gonna lay in bed longer, man. It don't matter what day of the week it is. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah. So did you get I don't know. I haven't talked to you. Did you get your mini split all did up there on the on your office and all that?
Oh man, I sure did. I'm looking at it right now. Oh man, old Cooper and Hunter. I made a video of it too. That'll be out one day.
What SEER rating is that thing?
Oh, I want to say it's 26. I'm not positive. I remember seeing the yellow stick. I think it's 26 and like 11 or 12 for the HSPF. I think that's SEER 1, not SEER 2, of course. It's just, I don't know. It seems to work good. I mean, for a while it was in here and I had like one wall finished and the rest of it was just insulation. I was like, I got to get this thing on. It's getting hot here in North Carolina.
And I've had a couple people here lately that people have started to associate ductless technology with being cheaper. So I've got a standard split system, it's ductwork and it's garbage and it needs to be replaced. So I think the cheaper option would be to do my whole house in ductless. Okay, sir, you need 15 heads. It's actually going to be more than me to replace your ductwork and your split system.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're going to get a Gree multi-head, and it's still going to be more.
Yeah.
Or something. You know, let me introduce you to Mitsubishi. It's going to cost you 5 times more.
Yeah.
But no ducts.
I recommend it.
What do you
what do you recommend? Stick with a split system.
Yeah. Why don't you stick with your ductwork, man? It'll be fine.
Well, I don't know, man. I'm torn. I try to keep my opinion out of it, and if they want to see the price of both, I'll give them the price of both. But I just think, like, you've already got ducts there. Even if it's garbage and it's got to be replaced, if you've already got boots cut in and all that.
Oh yeah. I mean, what are you gonna do?
Efficiency or anything like that, like, why does not go back with a standard split system instead of putting ductlesses on every wall in the house, and then you're still looking at vents in your ceiling? That's just, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't see the logic behind it, but it ain't my house. So.
There ain't no logic behind it because these are the same people. All right, you got these things hanging on the wall. And, you know, it doesn't bother me to see this white rectangle on the wall, but a lot of people have problems with crap like that because they used to not want to take their closets for return ducts. They didn't want to see anything. The air conditioner got to be tucked behind a wall, but all of a sudden these ugly plastic boxes are fine. It is weird.
Yeah. I don't get it. I've had a few of those lately, though. I want to see options for both. Okay, here you go.
Oh, that's what they say. Oh, dear.
Oh, you mean it's the same price?
What's expensive? Yeah. That's not the one we're quoting, by the way, either. You know, we're not quoting the whatever, like it's like the Blue Ridge or whatever.
Oh yeah, I've seen one of those.
I think there's a bunch of them. I like it. There's like one mini split type for every day of the year, and like I don't know where the parts come from. If you could even get them after you ordered this thing and it shows up, it's like I don't even know where it came from.
I speaking of ductless stuff, you know what? Which brand really chaps my butt?
On
that
ductless?
Is this Mr. Cool crap. It just irritates me.
Is that the one they market toward the homeowners directly?
Oh yeah, the Mr. Cool DIY unit.
Oh, looks like it's like vacuumed line set that when you hook it up, it goes like or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Finished. Yeah.
Recharge line sets or whatever. I don't know. I just like I get sucked down that rabbit hole, and I'll start reading the comments on one of their like Facebook ads, and you start seeing these homeowners. Yeah, look, every time they put a post up, all the heating and air guys come out of the woodwork because they're mad because we can do their job and we ain't got to pay them big bucks. And you know, I put mine in 2 years ago. It's been working fine. No need for a heating and air guy. And I'm like, okay, that's okay. When it tears up, good luck finding somebody to work on it.
Yeah, good luck finding the parts for it.
You can't, man. Anybody that's like got that mind frame of it, oh, it saved me thousands. I did it myself. It was way cheaper than paying a local contractor. Like, they will eventually learn. You're not going to commit. There's no point in getting into an argument with that person in a comment section because you're not going to change their mind.
Oh, that's for sure.
They're going to have to experience it. They're going to have to experience it themselves. They're going to have to deal with it tearing up, and they don't know what's wrong with it. And customer support from Mr. Cool is MIA, and they can't get parts, can't do this, can't do that. And once they go through that, they'll learn. But I still get sucked into reading those comments every time. I gotta quit doing that.
Yeah. It's just fun. The thing is, it's smooth sailing for a while, so everybody's happy for a while. If they have any mechanical ability, I guess. I guess there's some people that probably screw up at the beginning and is like, this is a bunch of crap. This thing's junk, because they just didn't tighten the line set up or something, or maybe a bunch of moisture got in somehow while they were trying to hook it up or something. I can imagine, like the procedure on that thing. All I know is they follow the marketing. They had like the attractive woman puts it in on the internet.
I like to read the comments of these people. It's like, well, what if I don't need a 25-foot line set? What do I do with the extra copper? Mr. Cool don't comment back on those comments. They specifically pick the people that they reply to.
Oh, yeah.
I put it in 2 years ago. It works great. Thanks, Mr. Cool. And of course, they'll comment back on that. Yeah, thank you for being a valued customer. But the guy that says, what do I do with the line set, or what do I do with this, or hey, I've not got anybody to comment back, or what size do I need for a 500 square foot room? They'll ghost those comments. They're not going to answer them.
Yeah, they want to distance themselves for that one.
Answer that question.
Get your manual out. Manual J, that is. No, I don't think so. The book's just as much as the unit. The Manual J costs like $100, I think. So that's like 1/5 the cost of the Mr. Cool. We won't need that.
Oh, I got a question for you, Zach. I don't know why I just thought about this, but as well, since we're talking about heating and air stuff.
All right.
Back when you were more hot and heavy doing heating and air on a daily basis, if you sold a change out, did you collect the deposit right then and there, or did you not charge them a dime and let them pay on completion?
Ooh.
Or did you go, or was it your discretion, your feel of the customer type deal?
Well, I'll tell you what, man. When I went out on my own, let's see, 2009, the very first, I didn't do a change out till like the end of the year because I was just doing a few service calls on my own, and change out came along. That change out, I got half up front on that change out. I did a half deposit because some states like I thought like Greg Fox, it's illegal for them to do that in California. They can't take half up front. They can't take a deposit like that.
Right.
But I have typically taken deposit on mine.
I got you.
Maybe not 100% of them, because some people I did. I knew them really well, or they were a friend of a friend, well trusted. But typically, I took 50% up front.
Yeah.
And then left the country.
No, left the country.
Left the guy. The way I say it, if this guy totally screws me, I'm gonna have enough money to pay off the material. That's what I want.
Yeah.
That was the idea.
Yeah, I think that's that's most people's ideas. Like, if this dude disappears, well, at least this covers the material that I've already bought.
Yeah.
So
that's what I was thinking. At least I'm not in a hole, because it's just me. So somebody like doesn't pay me after I bought something, then it could really hurt me financially because it's just me.
Yeah.
I don't want that. I want to avoid that.
Absolutely.
And people were pretty good about it the whole time I was in business. I mean, whenever I asked for it, I don't remember I don't remember any time when people were like, really like, why do I have to do this? People were usually pretty much on board with it.
Yeah.
So
That's good.
if you can't get 100%, get 50.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
That's right.
That's my sales class for you, Justin.
That's my sales class. Get it all up front.
I'm so good. Hey, yeah, you cover your own butt. You say customer's always right. No, these people like to mess the contractors over too. Get half your money at least. That's trust nobody. So awful.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I don't know. I guess I was just, I see the point behind it. I guess my focus has always just been like, if you focus on building the relationship, and there's trust there, then you don't have to worry about getting a deposit because they'll pay on completion, you know.
Right.
And I think there's situations where, you know, you have that guy that's he's a little odd. You can't really get a gauge on him, and you know, feel kind of weird about it. Like, yeah, I should probably get something from this guy. But
yeah, I think that's okay.
It's never. I've never approached it as a every single time. This is what I'm going to get 50% down. You know, 'cause I just think you know. You should be building a relationship, and there should be some form of trust there, you know.
And I know
if
that
not, then you probably shouldn't be doing business with them.
well, that's the thing. I mean, it depends on the business. So if I was a bigger company, I mean, because a customer's going to like not having to pay till the end. That's for sure. You know, with the deposit, you can only get a negative reaction. They're not going to be like, "Oh, a deposit, great news." You know, it's just a negative reaction possible. But if you're a big company, you don't have to ask for it.
Would you like for me to write you a check for all of it right now?
Yeah.
You might get some of those, but they're rare.
I did get some of those. People are like, "Do you just want the whole thing?" I'd be like, what are you, crazy? You know, I mean, I don't trust you and you trust me. This is lopsided. You know, I feel bad for asking for this. And yes, I'll take everything.
That's right.
I mean, people did that.
Well, I wasn't going to, you know.
Now I don't have to do this job. I'm just going to go to like Disney World now and, you know, whatever. I mean, we'll see what happens. How bad is this legally? You know, I don't know. I never had it. People would really legitimately, people did say, "I'll give you everything" a few times. I don't remember if I took everything, and I don't think I did. I always told them, like, you don't have to do that. I'm just doing this because I can feel secure and cover my butt a little bit, because it is like, you know, one job, two job, you know, people do that, then I could be in a pretty bad spot.
Yeah.
It's just a necessity.
Yeah. I think I don't know. I think it's the intention though. Like what is the intention to cover your butt and make sure that the material and the equipment is covered in case they were to back out? Is it about covering you business wise, or is it a scare tactic to keep them from shopping because they've already put some money down, so you somehow think that that's going to keep them from shopping around?
I could see it being like a placeholder for somebody, knowing they're not going to go anywhere because of that. For me, it was just to make sure I was taken care of. But I could see that being used as a placeholder as well. And you wouldn't need that much money. You could take a lot less and have that. You know, if you took like 10%, I mean, people aren't going to shop for somebody else after giving you 10%. I mean, that could be like $2,000 on a big job, $3,000. You wouldn't think so. I'd be like, do I just get to keep this if they shop for somebody else? In that case, just go on. I'll just keep this money and not have to do a job.
Yeah.
That sounds wrong.
I don't know. The reason I bring it up, I had a job that it's a big job. Well, I say big job. It's a decent job for residential, I guess, in this market. It was almost $20,000. It was $19,500.
That's good.
And big house, big monstrous house. You know, they've got the money to do it all, but they've got other renovations going on because they just bought the house, and they, you know, roof and chimney and countertops and water heaters, and you know, they got a bunch of stuff going on. So he could pay for it all up front, but he didn't necessarily want to take 20 grand away from his renovation money. So we split it up. I said, okay, well, we'll finance half of it and you can pay the other half. So he was financing half through Wells Fargo, 0% for 36 months so that he could stretch it out for 3 years and not pay any interest. And then pay the other half. So it was like, you know, 9,000 and something he's paying out of pocket, and the other 9,000 and something's being financed.
Yeah.
And so got all that took care of, got him approved through Wells Fargo, went back this past Friday, drew out the duct system, the whole layout for the installers and all that stuff. Well, and then he sends me a text this morning and says he has to back out on the heat and air. That he's got to have his chimney replaced, and it's double the money he was expecting. He had something else going on, and his air's, this is the kicker, his air's not down. He was just trying to be proactive because it's old and it's very crappy done.
Wow.
Okay, but he doesn't have to do the air right now. It's not down. So all this other immediate stuff come up, and he backed out. And he's like, we're definitely going to do it. It just ain't going to happen right now. I'm going to have to kick that can down the road a little bit. We'll stay in touch. You know, it'll be something we can do in a few months. We'll just kind of play it by ear. And it was brought up that if I'd have got a deposit, he wouldn't have backed out. I'm like, you know, the man's telling me he's got stuff going on. He's being truthful. I mean, I was there. I've seen the house. He's being truthful. He's got other stuff going on. Look, man, I need to back out. And, you know, my air's still working. I need to put that money towards other things. And I just don't like the thoughts of, like, okay, well, you know, if you'd have got 5,000 down from him, he wouldn't have backed out because he'd had some skin in the game. Well, that's scare tactics. And I'm not cool with that.
Yeah,
So,
I don't like that either.
So if the man tells me he needs to back out, I'm about building a relationship with that guy. I'm about him having trust in me being understanding of his situation, so that, guess what? In 3 or 4 months when he is ready to do something, or even if it's a year from now, he's ready to do something, guess who he's going to call? He's going to call us.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. And who's to say that if he gave you a $5,000 deposit, he just wouldn't ask for it back at that time?
And he absolutely would. He absolutely would. And he's not the type of dude you'd want to play games with anyway. Him and his wife both are lawyers.
Oh,
so
dear.
then what are you going to do? You're going to be like, no, I'm not giving you the deposit back. Yeah, good luck with that holding up in court.
You have to have like a contract that includes all this information, like you give a deposit of X amount for a job to be done within the next, let's say, 30 days or something like that.
Yeah, and it's not refundable. Like
Yeah.
Come on.
I'm with you. I don't like that either.
He had other stuff going on. It's fine, whatever. It's not like the business is going under because somebody backed out. We move on to the next out. We move people up. I mean, Lord, we're 3 weeks out, 2.5, 3 weeks out on install.
Oh,
move
great.
somebody up. Not a big deal.
Absolutely. Well, that's good. Yeah, that's real good then. Yeah, very nice. Yeah. Well, I had a customer.
I just with all the talk of the deposit stuff, I just wanted to bring that up. But yeah.
Well, the only other thing I wanted to mention on the topic, because I did ask deposits of people. One customer said that once they gave the deposit, they wanted to have the equipment delivered to their house within the next day. And that was the only stipulation that I really ever got, and I just went and picked it up and delivered it to his house. So, I mean, it worked out fine for me, and did the job a couple of days later.
So it was kind of a deal. It was kind of a deal where I'm giving you something. I want some security that you're actually going to – I want something that belongs to you that's actually going to, you know, is proof that you're going to show back up. In other words, is that what he was looking for?
Absolutely. It just make a feeling of security about what he did. And I'll tell you, whenever I ask for deposit, I always get a little bit more than I need to purchase the stuff. So if he were to go on and just run off and get somebody else to do it, I still would have made like a few $100 on the job, and without doing anything except for driving and picking up equipment. So, I mean, that's how I always tried to work it. So, I mean, there was a little bit of insurance coverage there if anything happened. But that's fine with me. I mean, he can keep the equipment. I mean, he just wants the same thing for himself. He just wants to be insured against a potential scammer or something.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Yep.
Anyhow.
Yep. It's about that
Almost home
time.
now, Zach.
Yeah, I still have the dirty jeans on. I crawled in the crawl space earlier today. So it's about shower
No,
time.
you didn't.
I really did. Okay, this is legit. I started up a unit today. This is a real life story. I didn't make this up or dream this up. I actually started a unit and had to crawl into crawl space and insulate some line set crap and lay out some ductwork of my own, believe it or not. He's deciding whether this is true or not.
Sounds like
It is. It wasn't fun.
Did it actually start up when you started it up?
Oh, yeah, it started up. That old bird, like 14-year-old, it started up. It ran.
Is this these trains that you put back and put in or something? Back and put in or something?
Oh, man, it is. But your voice just went really weird, like you're a robot or something.
What?
Yeah, your voice sounds like you're some kind of weird voice modulator or something.
They still doing it right now?
Yeah, it's like this weird staticky robot voice.
It's not on mine, Zach. It's not on mine, Zach. Maybe it is on mine. Hold on. Maybe it is on mine. Hold on.
And it repeats. You listen back to this show at the very end and you will hear it. It's trippy sounding.
Okay. I'll take that as the cue that
Yeah, you got to get out of here because it's messing with me. All right, man.
Have a good night, Zach.
All right, later, dude. Bye. Oh man, that was trippy. I was like, yeah, that was weird, man. That was weird. Okay. Don't you have spare clothes in the truck? Dirty waters? Yeah, this is a spare shirt. I kept the same jeans. You know, it's dirty, but not like so gross. I'm used to being dirty all my life. Here, you know what? Here we go. There it goes. There's my jeans. It ain't that bad. There's someone else calling in, but from local. But you're going to have to wait till next time because I really do want to take a shower. So if you're listening to this show, just wait till next time. I'll be happy to take your call. Absolutely. We can get to some more. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm a little dirty. Want to get a shower. It's been a long day. Sweated a lot. So there's no smell-o-vision. I might look presentable, but I am not. And I smell horrible. And, yeah. So call in again next time. Justin doesn't own the company. Justin Beaver is the guy I was talking to. Justin doesn't own the company. He works at a company where he lives in Georgia. He's worked there for, I don't know how long he's been there now. A year or two? It's hard for me to quantify these sort of things. But I am going to get out of here, guys. I really appreciate you tuning in. I'm having the same little outro that I had last time, little inspirational thing. Let's see if it inspires you guys. I'm going to get out of here. And I'll see you guys hopefully tomorrow night around the same time, 8:30 if you want to tune in. And I'll see you on the next one.
Okay. The itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and tried to ball the rain. The itsy bitsy spider went up the spout again. Yay! Oh! Say night night, Dada.
And then I did it.
Say I love you.
I love you.
Blow me a kiss.